Hey everybody, welcome to Corpse Talk. We are going to be going live in about 11 minutes. If you were here for any of the build shows, tonight is the fucking night. We are going to be drawing from the treasury for you all. I think there's almost 200 entries, and I think we're going to maybe draw twice depending on time. So now we got some special guests, the creators of DarkSpace, and I got some hot questions for them. If you have a question and I think it's worthy, I will ask it on the show. Feel free to put it in chat now. Just put a Q in front of it and I'll pop it on screen like you see the Hey Everyone right now. But enough of that shit. Let me give you what you really came here for. Some ads. Yeah, that's it, right?
It's been nearly 50 years since the introduction of the fantasy role-playing game. In that time, we've traded tomes of paper and ink for virtualized manifestations of the table. But this great game of the mind has always taken place in our collective imaginations. Welcome to Alchemy RPG. Create interactive scenes and experience gameplay in an intuitive storytelling environment, meticulously designed to amplify cinematic immersion within the theater of the mind. Craft your worlds beyond words. Immerse yourself and your players in your creations with lore-rich articles. Fully mechanized NPCs, and pre-made player characters. Effortlessly stream your tales directly from Alchemy, while onlookers cheer for your heroes on perilous paths of adventure. Discover a universe of immersive story worlds like never before, with unforgettable adventures ready to be had at the touch of a button. Breathe new life into your stories by harnessing the power of the Alchemy platform, a window into any world.
right, everybody, it's final countdown time. You know who's going to play. We will see you on the other side. It has been too long, everybody. I feel like I haven't been on the air for Corpse Talk in almost a year. It has been a long year of us dealing with controversies in the OGL, D&D, sending Pinkertons, everything under the sun. But tonight is the release. Tonight we get to interview not one, but two people, creators in the Shadowdark space, making sci-fi. That's right, we're finally getting sci-fi for Shadowdark. Now you might wonder, why would I want that? Why would I want to have any form of sci-fi in my lovely fantasy games? The answer is, you're playing sci-fi. We all love either Star Trek or Star Wars, or in my case, Ice Pirates, or maybe Jason in space, but we love having those things. And I specifically, for all of you who have watched my shows, know that I love Event Horizon. Event Horizon is one of the best horror movies of all time. I watched someone leaving puking in their popcorn bag in the theater, and that is not a fucking joke. So tonight I am happy to introduce the two creators that have not only brought sci-fi, have really knocked it out of the park. As of today, 500 copies sold on DriveThruRPG, and they came out of left field, at least for us. I don't think many of us knew them more than in a couple adventures for 5e. So with that said, I'd like to introduce you both to the show, and I'm gonna have you give your names instead of me, since I already fucked them up once today. So let me bring you guys on, and let's see how we're doing. How are you guys doing today?
Hey, doing good.
Good? Good, we got you both?
Yeah.
Doing great, awesome. Well, if you'd like to introduce yourselves, we'll start with the guy on the left first, bottom of our call. Non-glasses can go first.
Oh, that's me. So I'm Than Gibson, and I am one of the co-creators.
All right.
I'm Derek White. Most people know me as the Geek Preacher.
I haven't third time I hear that, by the way. And that would bring us into our first question. When I heard that, I just thought you were a 40K fan. And I got really excited that tonight I was going to have a guy in full regalia of like every Aquila and everything under the sun for it. But obviously that's not it. And it's not the question. Our first question is actually about the logo for what you guys have made. You've made a very, I don't think anyone expected sci-fi to hit Shadowdark. Like that wasn't something that people were like, yeah, you know what, we're going to see soon. It's going to be that. You made that, but it is very Star Wars influence. You can play other things, but I can feel it through and through. That logo looks like the Empire logo, but it's got 2 broken spots on it. Is there a reason for that? Is it like one of those old ball-bearing puzzle mazes? Like, what the fuck's the point of the 2 breaks?
No, it's our cover.
Yeah, I know, but why?
Why? We don't know yet.
You don't know yet.
Out.
What is this?
We have lots of reasons. We have lots of reasons. Is it because those are portals to other galaxies where it's been broken? Is that where the great dark ones dwell, like Cthulhu or something like that? The ancient elder gods? Nobody knows.
Don't
so that's the best
super weapon that got destroyed.
That's where you have the librarian and the assistant librarian from Arcane Library hidden. Don't lie about it.
Yeah.
Kelsey knows that's her new home. Kelsey, you don't get to live in the desert anymore. You now live in an extra-dimensional space. Welcome to Superman. So you guys made this in a pretty short amount of time, from my understanding. This was not a really long project. What made you do sci-fi? I have to ask that, because this is not a sci-fi crowd that you just walked into.
Yeah.
Can I answer that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Derek, you had the initial idea. You go for it.
So, I have loved fantasy all my life. I have loved fantasy since I was a little kid.
Okay.
But my first love, I am a 70s, 80s kid.
Okay.
And my first loves were Superman, Star Wars, and this little magazine my mother bought me. We were very poor, but
TV
she
Guide?
got analog magazine.
Oh,
Analog magazine.
Yeah.
My mother scraped together her pennies and bought her son, who loved to read, an analog magazine. So I grew up on Larry Niven, Frank Herbert, Isaac Asimov, Roger Zelazny, all of these folks. And so I was reading them along with fantasy. And so I had both of those as my core thing. And then in 1977, I stepped into a movie theater and I saw space fantasy.
You know, movie theaters were before 77, though, right?
Yeah, they were. Okay. But in 1977, I stepped into a movie theater and saw this amazing thing on screen called Space Fantasy.
Yeah.
And it was this little movie called Star Wars.
Yeah.
That people thought, oh, this is a nice thing. And I remember watching it in a theater, probably in Natchez, Mississippi, with my family, and watching it and hearing them go, as this huge damn Star Destroyer came across the screen.
It's really this.
And so what really made me think, I was like, you know what? We have had a glut of fantasy for the last 20 plus years. Yeah. And I feel like the cultural zeitgeist is changing, that people are going to start wanting more sci-fi, because I want more sci-fi.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not alone in what I want and what I love. I know that I don't live in a vacuum. And so I said, you know what? Shadowdark is the perfect rule set to adapt to it, because I want something quick, something fast that reminds me of playing a game in the early 1980s where you could sit down, you could make a character, and you could be playing within 30 minutes. And you can do that with Shadowdark. I said, why isn't it possible to do that with sci-fi? And so I started bugging one friend of mine about it, and I started bugging Than about it. And the next thing I knew, Than's like, I got you, bro.
I thought Than introduced you to it, was my understanding from some of the videos I've seen.
He introduced me to Shadowdark.
That's what I meant, yeah, Shadowdark, right.
Yeah, he introduced me to, well, that's the funny story there. I was loving this game called 5 Torches Deep.
Oh yeah, there's some good mechanics in there.
And I was loving it. I'm like, this is what I need. I don't need D&D anymore. Screw D&D. 5 torches deep. And Than's like, Derek, something's about to come out that's even better. I was like, shut the F up, man.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear it. I'm tired of always trying to find a new system. And he's like, dude, you're going to love Shadowdark. You're going to love Shadowdark.
Yeah,
Kept
man.
bugging me and bugging me.
It's
and then
all the sexy of new mechanics and all of the memories of being a child playing a game. It's literally,
Exactly.
she went, and done. Here you go. Here's your puzzle box. Have a nice night.
Exactly. And I sat down at a game with Kelsey before GaryCon started, right before it had released. She was running some quick play tests, and I was like, damn it, Than, I hate your guts. I love you too, because you were absolutely right. Because he knows me. We've been friends long enough. He knew what I wanted, and he knew this was it.
See, I just think friends abuse their friends into playing the games that they want to play as the GM. That's my personal opinion. Because I always,
That's what he did.
What do we want to play? Oh, I really want to play. No, we're playing the game I want to play. I bought the books. This is how it goes. If you don't want to do it, go find another fucking table. Unlike some marriages, gaming tabletop is not monogamous. I will have mini groups that I am using to play games with. So why did you want sci-fi then? He obviously has a childhood fantasy about being Han Solo or Luke or maybe Vader, let's be real. With the shirt you're wearing, it's Vader. There's no way it's not. So what about you? Why sci-fi?
Yeah, so kind of the same reasons. I mean, I'm a little bit younger than Derek, but I grew up on Star Wars as well. So, I mean, there's definitely that influence. But I love sci-fi as much as I do fantasy. But I agree with Derek. We've had a lot of fantasy, and good fantasy, right? A lot of good fantasy games out there. But I saw this as a challenge to make a sci-fi that played quick. That was my thing. Like, you can, there's great sci-fi games out there. Some classics out there. But if your character creation takes 4 hours.
Yeah, Starfleet Command. Who wants to play that? I don't.
Right. You know, so like, you know, that's the thing is how can we make something that's quick and easy and cinematic to play?
Right.
And also just so happened that, you know, I've got two boys who are, you know, 12 and 13, and they're just really starting to kind of get into like Star Wars and that kind of stuff. So they want to do Star Wars RPGs, and we broke out West End games because I grew up on the
D6
West
system.
End game, the D6 system.
Played a Deathloop for many years.
This is slow. Like,
it is. Which is weird because it's such a clean, simple system, but it's still complex in the Shadowrunny kind of way where you're like, it's D6s, but fuck me, why so many? Like it's so much work. So you guys made a sci-fi game then out of Shadowdark because it was easier. Yeah.
Exactly.
Is that really what it was?
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
That's
just we liked Shadowdark and we wanted sci-fi, so let's make sci-fi Shadowdark.
So we have other questions after this, but speaking of quick, we're gonna play a quick round of Morkborg. I know we're talking Shadowdark, but Corpse Talk is Morkborg because it is one of the fastest systems I played, but it's definitely the most deadly system. So I'm gonna give them the rundown. You guys can listen to the background. For those who haven't seen the show before, in between questions, we play one round of Morkborg. In my setting of Corpse Talk, well, I should say our setting. The creeps that watch the show and myself have made an adventure that we're gonna be playing in. So I'm gonna take us over to our map. Very simple. They can hear you guys on this one. It's just me on the map, but they can still hear you. I'm going to give you the definition. We're at print level for this one now, by the way. So right now you're in pitch black, blood-filled mud at the bottom of a well. Crumpled in your hand is a note, and your head that is severed, sitting on the ground right now, is this odd domed shape with 2 lights on it that are kind of flickering and sparking, letting you see the inside of this room. There's a locked door in front of you, and the light shines on the note that has your name crossed off of it. With that, we're gonna go into the rules for this game. I'm gonna switch to you and let you take your move and your action. So everything in this, we let you guys roll, except for monster damage. Monster damage will be rolled by the audience in between during the questions. So we're normally going to have my monster go last to give you a fighting chance. The only time that changes is if it's a boss monster. And there is a boss monster here. And I can tell you that the people who helped me made this were rude and put it real fucking early. So that brings us over to you two. You got move, you got an action. There's a door in front of you and you're laying in the mud. All the gear that is on your sheet, because you kindly brought 4 pieces to add to the treasury. You're adding 4 of the core rule books for DarkSpace. That means you got a bag of nails, extra, a hammerhead, no handle, because hammers don't exist in Shadowdark, and I had to bring it over.
Yeah.
A dirk, and then of course, you have your astronaut or your Astro Boy head. What would you guys like to do?
Let's move.
Yeah, I think we need to move. Let's go check this door out.
All right, so you move up to the door. The door is old, kind of like rotted, soaked. It's got nails on it that you can see fish have been put on and cleaned. And there is buckets of chum and slop being poured down here. You're covered in it. Thankfully, you're undead, so you can't smell it. The door is easily locked. You don't see any way to really open it. The mud is caked around the bottom. How do you want to go about handling this?
It can open.
Do you have a good strength?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If we don't do that, then we're going to be using our hammerhead to pull things out one at a time.
So
yeah, let's just kick the damn door down.
For clarity, it is a DR 13. That means you're going to be rolling a D20 and adding your strength to it. Now, I want to be nice right out of the gate and offer you a critical question if you want, which will give you an omen. That'll allow you to have any reroll, one reroll during the show, or max damage. Do you want to take it now, or do you want to save it for later?
What do you think? You want to go ahead and do it?
How many critical questions do
I
we
get 2 that I get allowed to ask during the show.
Let's start off with one. Why not?
Why not?
All right, let's go back to us. Oh, so I have a couple of them. Can one of you roll me a D6 and I will ask that question?
You rolling or me?
I don't
You go
even-
ahead. You
Whoever
roll
wants
it.
to. Whoever
You
gives me
roll
the
it.
number first. A 6. What is one game or creator that absolutely everyone raves about that you have never been fucking impressed by? One game or creator. You can skip the question, and that means I get to crit you immediately.
I will
You got
answer it,
one?
and
I'm having trouble coming up with
I've got
answer.
one.
Go
The
for it.
creator impresses me, but the game does not,
Okay.
and I am going to get so much crap for this.
No worry, we're gonna
Numenera.
clip it. Ooh.
Numenera. I have looked at it. I have read it. I've seen the mechanics. I've looked over it, and I've gone, meh. That's been my response. On the other hand, the creator is one of the nicest people
He's
I've
got the
ever
illest
met.
pen game possible.
Yeah. I mean, he nice person, friendly. Signed my Numenera book for me. But really great person. The game just does not do anything for me.
What about you? There's 2 of you. You both have to answer.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
You brought 2. That's on you.
Yeah, it is on that.
I
Any
know
game
what-
or creator.
I'm real easy on games, unfortunately.
Are you? Just a whore for games? Okay.
I am. I really am.
This guy has no answer for us. Okay, that's fine. I won't let you answer this one. That's all right. You just get to answer the next one then. So I'm going to argue the Numenera point and say that you've never had it GM'd for you, and that's the problem.
I would not disagree with that because I've had people offer to run it for me. They said, get the rules, read through the rules, I'll run it
Don't
for
even.
you.
I'll just give you a character
And they
sheet.
never
so-
have. They've never run it for me.
Oh, God.
So
I have a lot of friends who would disagree with you, but that's okay. We'll go back to the game. We'll let you have your round. You have 1 omen now. I guess that's okay. So we're going to try to break the door down. You get a +2 to your strength roll. It's a D20 roll. If you don't break it, I may have a trap on this one.
I would hope you did.
This is why you don't let the DM roll there. Yeah, we
Yep.
got a 4.
Would you like to use your omen right now? Or do you just want to die here?
I should just die here.
Why not, right?
All right, save it for you. Okay, so you kick the door, and the door does budge. But on top of the door budge, the shadow sheds like over top of you as whatever is the top of the well comes careening down. You do get to make yourself an agility roll, which you suck shit at. You got warning, so it's only a 10.
3.
3? Audience, please roll me 2d6. We're gonna go into the next question round. I'm pretty sure these guys are gonna die here. I'm pretty sure. So we're gonna go into the next question. This is not a crit question. This is a regular question. So you guys created a great sci-fi piece. It's sold 500 copies as of today. Obviously, congrats. I know everyone's asking, are you gonna do a Kickstarter? How's the print run gonna go? Are you gonna get more stuff? That's all fine and dandy. We all know that's fucked right now. Printing's a bitch. We know it's difficult. But that means you have time. Is there a rule that made it into DarkSpace that you know doesn't quite work, but you guys just fucking left it anyway?
I think actually the one big errata that has to be changed is if you pay real close attention, no one is proficient in blaster rifles. Yep.
Welcome to sci-fi. Does anyone know how to use a gun? Nah, we're in Japan.
Yeah.
Guns aren't allowed.
Yeah. Pistols, yeah, blaster pistols, fine. Heavy blaster pistol rifles, like the big machine guns, absolutely. Yeah, I screwed up.
Was that just an oversight? Whose fault was that?
That was an oversight.
Whose
an
fault?
oversight.
It's got to be one person's
that's
fault.
Totally me.
Oh, okay.
It's totally me. Yeah,
and you
I'll
Derek,
own
you
that
let it
one.
ride?
Yeah, because I didn't notice it until I didn't notice it until
Gary
this.
Con.
No, this
That's when
Sunday.
I noticed it.
Oh, this Sunday?
You noticed
This
it on
Sunday.
Sunday.
You've been
I
hiding
noticed
it
it
from
on
him this
Sunday
whole time?
when I was starting. I just started a new campaign with my group because we both have different groups. Plus, we play together. And I was doing that. I was looking over the stuff, and I was like, somebody was asking this question and that question, and I was like, holy crap! There's no proficiency in blaster rifles.
Yep.
Except for where the ones where it says all weapons. You know, proficient in all
Right.
weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nobody is specifically, and our quick person should be quick or clever should be
Quick
definitely
that's one
do that. And so I didn't notice it. I did not.
As a
notice
GM,
it.
I would be like, no, there's no blast rifles in this world. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
There's
mine
none.
was mine was when I discovered it. It was literally playing a game at Gary Con. I was running a game at Gary Con, and it just hit me. I'm like, oh my god! I made all these pre-made characters, and no one's actually proficient in a blaster rifle. I just gave it.
I had that happen actually in Breachers as well. Someone's like, I should have a lance. I'm a lancer. I was like, yeah, man, you should have a
Should
lance.
I tell you about a rule that you brought up that got us into a good discussion on your review?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
What was that?
Because I've been thinking about that rule a lot.
Is it about how the classes aren't uniform and you don't get the same bonus at level 2 every time?
No, it's not,
no.
but
I did like that for symmetry
like
because
that.
I'm a big symmetry
at level
person.
2 and just it's not even that. It's like I rolled a 2. It's fucking important.
Yeah.
I want that.
No, it was how a pistol could damage a starship.
Yes. Oh god. So a little clarity from me to you guys. I'm writing ship rules for my Soul Punk Victorian horror setting, and I was really trying to figure out how I'm going to handle ships because nothing's worse than ship gun shooting a person. And I was like, wait, no, you're just fucking dead. So the way I'm doing it is vehicles hurt vehicles. Mm-hmm. There are weapons that have a feature that lets them hurt vehicles as well, like, you know, missiles and shit like that. But I'm just making you make a save. If you fail it, you immediately go to death saves.
That works. I mean, double damage in Shadowdark
it's not enough because when they get to level 6, they have like 50 hit points. That means they stand and take a cannon. And you're like, how?
You know what?
Even Chewie can't do that.
But Chewie took a moon.
Chewie took a moon because that writer said, watch me flex. That's why. Stackpole, I'm looking at you, motherfucker.
See, when you said that, it just made a wonderful idea of an adventure for me as some damn spacer trying to jump from one ship to another, and he's just going to get on there with his blaster gun and try and breach it so that suddenly they have vacuum out into space.
But that's like what charges are for.
But see, I know people who are stupid enough to try that crap. And that's what I love to see is people do stupid shit in the game.
I do too, but mechanically stupid.
We did we did the math on it to for an average spacer with or two spacers with a blaster or pistol to take down the freighter that you were looking at in the stock ships. It would take 6 rounds.
I thought it only had like
average.
15 health though.
Yeah, but you're only doing 2.5 on average.
I mean, 1 crit and that thing apparently blows out the sky because a duck hit it. Like,
You still got to hit. So keep
And
in
then
mind
you
also.
got to be Scully and land it on a planet.
Yeah, but so also keep in mind also that stock freighter does not have armor.
no, right. I saw it had no shield, no armor. I was using it as
No
a
shield, no
baseline.
armor.
Regardless, we've watched stormtroopers shoot at a ship. You know what happens? Nothing. If they hit, nothing.
Yeah.
So with that, our people have rolled damage. It was garbage. They rolled 3. You have a D6 armor. One of you roll a D6. That's how many hit points you negate from the damage. How much damage you should negate. 2. So you take 1 fucking point. We're gonna go back into rounds here.
We survived.
You survived the door. The door is still in front of you, intact. You kicked it once and moved, but the mud is holding it in place. It's slick. You do have the one head with the lights. The whatever fell is now down here in here, so there are now boards and nails and kind of like the scaffolding that would go over top of a well. We're going to our second round, still in the same room. I will tell you, we've had an adventure where they never got out of the first fucking room.
Nice.
So what do you want to do?
Well, head, what do we do?
I would say that we use that hammerhead to try and
Just the
pull that damn, get a board, attach it to the hammerhead, something.
Oh, okay.
You
want to make you want to make an actual hammer, the thing that doesn't exist in in Shadowdark, but can exist here.
Yeah.
Okay, absolutely.
Yes.
I'll say no roll required. You can hammer it together. You got nails. You got a hammerhead.
Yeah.
You get yourself a board, and you get it there. Are you gonna try to pry the door open then? Okay.
So
July and very
August,
very
September,
early
October,
January.
November,
Yeah. Someone said it froze. Don't worry,
5
it
months?
reconnected. It's already fixed. I have everything automated for this kind of garbage. We're already here. So that's not that long. That's actually a really short turnaround. So I mentioned in my review that you all seem to have been looking at D20 Modern. Then I listened to another review, and sure enough, D20 Modern ended up being an influence for how you build your classes out. But I worked in D20 Future for a long time making Dark Horizons, which was a totally different game. It was going to be an RPG in a video game with a company. Really enjoyed making it. I found making classes based around just statistics really good until you got to 2 of them. Constitution became a nightmare to make a class around because you don't want to make a hit point pattern. It just doesn't fucking do well. And then how in the hell do you make something intelligence that isn't a caster? What, are they just science guy every time? So you guys had to go through this process. Did you find one of the stats difficult to build a class around? Because you made a class for every one of them.
Yeah. I do think that the class, the tough, I think probably was one of the hardest. Because for that very reason. Like you do end up creating basically a tank. But when you think about sci-fi tropes, you've always got that one guy, right? That is the tank. Right. He's gonna be the meat shield.
Right.
So it does work. I think the wise one, because we did want to tie the triad force power in there, but we knew that not everybody was. When we decided this was not going to be just this specific kind of genre, but you're going to be able to play any sci-fi genre with
Starship Troopers, whatever it may be. Yeah.
Right. You're not necessarily going to need that. So how do we make that optional? How do we flip that out?
You named it after a gang, is what you did.
We did.
I thought it was a faction at first. I had to reread it.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's their force powers. It's their magic. It's their psionics. It's all the things you can't explain.
It's all the things.
It's metachlorians. No one wants to talk about that shit.
Yeah.
Did you end up finding a way to make con work besides just giving it a shit ton of hit points? Because, I mean, right now, Shadowdark is not D&D. The bloat is much smaller. But as we see more and more third party come out and we keep trying to make creative things, we are going to see more advanced classes. Like I know when I made Breachers, my classes immediately got a little bit more advanced because I was looking at the assassin for reference out of her scroll. Did you find that as you were making these, it was really hard not to like one up the previous classes while you're doing it?
Yeah, it definitely is. I think, and I'll say this, you know, making these around the stats versus trying to come up with something that was specific and giving it its own little flavor, that kind of a thing.
You would have made way more classes doing that.
It also kind of frees you out of that like that one-upmanship a little bit because now we're just talking about what would a tough character do.
What are all the options versus this narrow focus?
This narrow little
you
focus.
wipe the bottleneck out by doing that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then when we had the idea to just bring the backgrounds in as you've got the broad category and then the specific category. So you've got a tough pilot or a tough, you know, politician.
Yeah, tough pilot. Harrison Ford crashing a real airplane.
Right. Those are two very different things, right? So I mean, that's exactly it.
Do you, Derek, have a favorite class out of all the stuff you built? I just happy you used Chopper as a reference for the droid.
One of my favorites that I really like, I like the clever class.
Oh yeah.
I do. Because and if you look in the book, what you'll see is an android in the book that was based off, Dan's artwork was based off of the character I played. And I really like it because it can be so versatile when you're playing a clever character, because you can have a clever, like Dan said, a politician, a clever hacker, a clever droid. And so I really like the level of doing that, because then I get to do fun, silly, quirky stuff, hack into things. I can find out information, because sometimes when you're playing a really fast-paced game, you don't want to have to, you want to just be able to roll and get that information.
Just want to go.
Instead of just having to look everywhere.
Yep.
And so you're the guy that everybody's turning to for the really cool information.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Our playtest sessions, while we were still kind of working all this out, we had Derek's clever hacker, we had a clever medic, and a clever mechanic.
Oh, okay.
And they were all very different things.
How did you guys handle the hacking? Because hacking is one of those things, like, I'm assuming growing up you all played Shadowrun or Cyberpunk, where when the hacker went, you went, hey, everybody, go get pizza. This is going to be 3 fucking hours.
So right now, it's just another skill roll.
Just a die roll and you're in and out?
Yeah, it's just a die roll and you get it done. We do have plans for doing settings eventually, genres. I wouldn't necessarily say we're going to do full settings on any of these, but we'll give you enough of a little taste for that genre. And we're going to do a cyberpunk one, and we'll have a little bit more deeper hacking rules. But it's when we get to that point, it's going to, in theory, the idea that we're kind of batting around right now is that it's going to be a little more group involved.
Oh, okay.
Not the Shadowrun. All right, everybody will grab a slice.
I will say Cyberpunk fixed it in red. It's really fun, really clean now. I'm a big fan of that. Okay, we have that's good to hear.
Yeah. The quick hacks too that they just added with edge runners.
I was playtesting for that shit. It's way fun, man.
Right now, in the adventure that we did publish in our Void Echoes, there is an opportunity where somebody could hack when they're trying to get through into different areas of the ship. Well, it's an old spaceship, and while in the adventure we didn't put what the DC should be, it's an old spaceship, so it's only a DC 9 to hack it.
Oh, okay.
But when you get to more difficult areas, like if you try to hack an AI or something, that might be a DC 18 for you to try and hack it.
Sliding scale of difficulty determine the verbal explanation.
Exactly.
I want to see a random roll table to describe the hacking for a GM, so they can random roll the events, so you can describe what is going on for the different scenarios: hacking a gun, doing cameras, opening doors, whatever the fuck it is, stealing data, robbing the, whoever. I think that would be awesome. But speaking of numbers, they rolled a 6 this time.
There we go.
So you get a D6 to suck up. This could put you down, putting us into the fast question round. We'll see what they do.
Hey, it's a 6.
You got a 6?
I did.
We're not gonna. look, you guys, audience, we got to level up our game here. If we're going to kill these guys and get any of these fucking books put in, I need you to be on it. We need to get them through this door. We need to murder them. So let's just let them roll. Do we want to give them another critical question? Like, I'm going to need some help here because right now they're stuck in a room and I want to murder them for you, but you're not letting me do it. Your 6 was good, but that 3 earlier fucked us. I'm just saying, this is on you as much as it is on me. So we're going to go back into our combat / you pretending that you can die, but you can't. Stuck at the same goddamn door. It's a DC 13 or DR 13. It's not that hard. You've broken your pry board bar hammer, and now you're stuck holding nothing. So what's the plan? Are we kicking this again? Are we going to look for a key? Like, what do you want to do?
Use my head, Ben. Use my head to bash through the door.
Astronaut helmets are very durable.
Yep, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you a bonus for this. That is bullshit.
But
so.
I'm going to let you roll.
Oh, okay.
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
D20 plus 2.
Stuff.
Yep.
D20 plus 2. All right, I'm doing it. That is going to be a 21.
Door bursts open. On the other side of this door, you hear something walking on a combination of stone and mud. There is like a clacking noise just out of the light. With that, I'm going to give you your move still to go into the next area and see what there is. And now, you know what, fuck it, I'll give you your action as well, since all you've been doing is cowering at the bottom of a well. What would you two like to do? And the lighting is appropriate. The audience can see what's there. You guys just can't. Yeah, that's just the door. Leave that. That's just the door.
Okay.
I'll move this up over here just so you still have it.
Okay.
Okay.
You can go through here.
Well, we've got the lights on the Astro helmet, right?
Yeah, you can see.
Let's use those. Yep.
Okay.
Ooh.
Round in the corner, there is this odd smell that the severed head can kind of pick up. It's slick with fish guts and rots, but there's something else, like a coppery smell. Out of the mud, these weird heads with crab-like appendages crawl out. They look like almost like children or doll heads. There are 3 of them in a group. They look up at you, and I already rolled the reaction. They seem to pay no heed to you this time through the dungeon. You're welcome to try to walk by them. You can fight them. Whatever you would like to do following the map down through here, but they don't seem to care that you're here. Unfortunately, they have a reaction roll because they didn't spend cards to make them combatants. Going through?
You're the head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Just walk on by.
All right. So I'll move you since it's easier for me to count the squares through here.
Yep.
Into here, and I will move the next thing up. I will give you the description for this, and we'll go into our next question. This is a twisted terrain. It is one of the cards that can get played. Twisted terrain is numerous things, but it's always dangerous. This one is the gut pool. It is thick with a maple syrup smell with some form of floating, I don't know if it's worms, but they're not moving. Out of the bottom of it, you can see the hilt of a sword, just the very like pommel and part of the grip. The pool is jumpable, and there is the vapor waves are actually coming off of it. Like the smell is visible on this thing. With that said, we're going to go into our next question. Let you guys decide what you would like to do with that. Meanwhile, nothing like having to think about 2 things at once. This show is to teach people to be better GMs. That's what it's about. So you guys made some great classes. I saw at GaryCon that you also had some of your own custom luck tokens. Hand painted, really nice. I had someone ask this. This is a simple question. We're not even going to count this one. Are you going to make those for sale?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Those are all done by myself.
That is not the question. The question was, are you going to make them available for people to buy? Because there's been a lot of ask of, can I get those luck tokens?
I mean, definitely. If there's enough of an ask for it.
What's the pre-order number you would need to make them?
Jeez, I don't know.
50?
3D printer. Yeah, maybe.
You can fit what? 10 to a plate?
Yeah, give or take.
You'd be fine.
Yeah.
So 50? Okay. Well, we have a new goal here, everybody. We're going to see if we can get 50 of those and pre-order on the Shadowdark area. See if we can get it, because I think they look awesome, and they're great luck tokens. She brought a Pog this year, which I have here. Your slammer.
Yep.
And I thought that everyone should make something like that for their luck tokens. I think that's such a fun idea.
Yeah. It was so funny. I was showing those off in the Shadowdark Discord, and everybody's like, "Oh man, those are really cool." I was like, "Yeah, next year I'm going to do Pogs," and a couple of the guys that were kind of on the inside already knew what she was going to bring, and they're like, "Huh, that's kind of funny," but they didn't actually say it. And then when she announced it,
yeah, I mean, and I think all of us are, again, this is a kids of the '80s thing, right? Like, we all have that. So my question, which isn't that, someone asked it, I was like, fine, I'll ask if they're going to do it for you. You had some really odd dungeon tiles at GaryCon, very similar to how what is it? What's his name? I forgot his name now.
Professor DM.
Professor DM, yeah. He has his own, but how come yours weren't sci-fi tiles?
Because I ran out of time to make the sci-fi tiles.
Wouldn't sci-fi tiles of those for the inside of a ship be fucking great with just little boxes and stuff?
That's totally gonna happen by next year.
Are you making them?
Yeah.
Is that another need a pre-order of 50 to make them? Is it another one of those fucking problems?
No, man. Those ones that I made, I've had those for 3 years now, and they've held up well. But it's they're little wooden discs you get from like Hobby Lobby.
Yeah. Did you just put a sticker on them, or did you engrave them?
Hand painted.
Oh, you just hand painted them. That's way too much work. Just get them engraved. I'll send you a guy who has a machine that can just engrave them for you.
Yeah, let's do that instead.
The reason I ask about it is it's a really different GM style, using the idea of moving terrain around the players instead of moving the players through the terrain. It's closer to, like, honestly, how a lot of car shots are done in movies, where they move everything around you versus, all right, let's build an entire set piece and walk everyone through. Yeah. Did you find this before you saw it on, obviously, his YouTube, or did it just spark something? You're like, holy shit, why have I not been doing this?
So, no. I mean, I played around with Ultimate Dungeon Terrain. I made my own. We've played with it off and on in our home game, especially the days when I don't have a battle map ready. I'll just kind of throw it up there, and we'll use that just kind of a little bullseye diagram.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I love the concept. I love the idea of moving the terrain around it, and it works well with Shadowdark's ranges.
It does.
But the problem that we ran into was, what happens if I'm in the middle circle and people are in the center circle, and then bad guys move to the center circle? Now I've got combat over here, and I've got combat over here.
You just put another disc down.
You just put, and so that's what I ended up
doing.
They're
spotlights is how I always kind of conceive them.
Right. But Professor DM has this big one single disc,
yeah, it's a big dice.
Right? Yeah. It's on like a
lazy Susan.
And everything, right?
Yep.
And so I'm like, what if we just make it 3 small discs instead? And then you've got one move here,
range
2
bands,
moves over here. It's still, and it works great for Shadow.
So are you the GM and Derek, are you the player? Is that how this goes?
When Than runs them, I run my own games, but when we play test, Than is running the game.
Do you do the same thing? Do you use the discs as well for yours, or do you use the traditional big ass map? Are you Theater of the Mind?
Mostly Theater of the Mind.
You were a vampire player growing up, weren't you?
No, man. My first game was Mulvey Cook D&D. And but when I say Theater of the Mind, a lot of times it's more Theater of the Mind now, but a lot of times I just draw out a map and just describe to my players what's on the map. Old school as hell. So I have a map. You don't see the map. I just tell you. But I'll give you an example of how I'll run a game. So
we have a limited time on this show, right?
Okay, real quick. In my game, we started a new session yesterday.
Okay.
I said, hey, it's a post-apocalyptic setting because I want to try out the Shadowdark and DarkSpace rules in a post-apocalyptic setting. You guys get a choice. Are we in a post-apocalyptic Nashville or at the largest Buc-ee's truck stop in Texas?
Isn't the same fucking thing?
Kind of. And they chose Buc-ee's.
Oh,
So
God.
I said, okay, we need a map. One of my players got
pull
on
it
his
up.
laptop, pulled up Google Maps, and now we have the map of a Buc-ee's.
Yep.
So there you go.
That's one of the best
And
things about modern games is just being able to pull up
Yeah.
images. It's such... People forget, like, oh, I don't want to play modern, that's my life. I was like, your life does not have fucking orcs, trolls, and magic, and just shut the fuck up. Like, we're going to play a modern game
and
that
it
has
doesn't
other
have
stuff.
a giant beaver attacking everyone.
I mean, I hope none of my games have a giant beaver attacking somebody. Were you at the
Hey,
strip club in Dallas? Like,
I
what?
said, that reminds me of the vampire games I played.
Well, with that, we're going back to combat.
Okay, yeah.
So going down the hall, you have the mud puppies behind you, and you have the twisted train in front of you with the sword sticking out. The Nightmare Pool is what it's named. It's a DR-12, but unlike our lovely last piece, it is not strength. It is agility to jump across this, or you can try to tough it out and go through, but that is a DR-14, like walk through it. This pool is, you could jump it with agility or you could tough it out and walk through it. I will tell you, when this was made, I don't know what the person was drinking. It is bad.
What do you think, Dan? What do you think? Tough it out or jump it?
I mean, our agility sucks, and we do have better toughness, but
14 versus 12, though, what's it matter?
exactly, does it make a difference?
Hey, whatever you think's more fun.
But there is a sword in it sticking out if that's of interest to you.
Hey, let's go pull the sword out.
When we do it, why not? Let's go for
Why
it.
not?
Sword in the
Yeah,
sludge
let's
pool.
see what happens.
All right, so you're gonna have to walk in to get it. Although you could try to jump across, I guess, and grab it, but that's gonna be a harder DR.
No, that
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
out of character for
All
a
right.
headless.
Yeah,
knight.
hey, yeah. You hold your head above the water. Give me a toughness roll. You're looking at a 14. Who's rolling between you two?
You want me
Audience.
to roll this?
I do
Yeah,
need
why
you
don't
to
you roll it?
pre-roll me 2d8.
I'll roll it.
Okay, I'll roll the 2d8.
No, the audience is rolling it. That's the damage if
oh,
this
the
goes
audience
south.
is
Well, I'm
Yeah.
rolling good.
All right, you roll the
Let's
D20.
see.
You got plus
Yeah,
2. Need a 14.
Plus 2. That's a 19 total.
You walk
I
into the
rolled a
pool.
17.
You start pulling out this sword, and it's way longer than one-handed. Kind of hard to carry your head with it, but you're pulling this thing out, and it comes out, and it gets to the bottom, and it turns into a femur bone. On the end of it, there is a skull-like mace. It's not a sword. It's like a war mace.
Nice.
But the head is talking and moving with no sound coming out of it from all this like syrupy liquid. You're pretty sure this is a melted, sludged brain pit. It is just nothing but gray matter. If you don't know, brains smell like maple syrup when they're in the sun. That is a real thing. Don't work at a morgue. So it is disgusting. Are you keeping this two-handed weapon? Because if so, your head's got to go on your belt, which means the light's going to be a little smaller.
What do you think?
Oh, yeah, why not? Just
Yeah.
put me on your belt.
All right. So you put him on the belt. And I hate to tell you this, you have to roll to get out because you sat in here and pulled the weapon out.
Oh no, we're sinking.
Okay.
Same
All right.
toughness roll. Can you do it, though? Because if not, the damage right now is a 3, and what is the next one? Someone rolled the other one. 3 is garbage. You guys are the worst rollers ever.
I rolled a 16, so that's 18, right?
Jesus, never mind, guys. We don't get the damage to them. These guys are just walking out all nonchalant. I'm going to move your character through to the other side. You have a war mace that does a D10 damage. Unfortunately, it does take 2 hands to swing, rounding the corner and coming around here. In the distance where the light is spread, I am going to... Are you going to use the weapon, you said? The D10 weapon? If so...
Oh, yeah.
All right, I am going to reduce your... I'm going to reduce your light size from 30 to 20. Doesn't sound like a lot. In the distance, in the shadows, you can see a split in the road. Both of them are very narrow passageways. One goes down, one goes up, but you can see almost like a glowing mycelial on the area that goes up. Which direction do you guys want to go before we go into our next question?
You get to choose, Stan. You choose it.
You
I'm just gonna go 50-50.
up or east?
Yeah. So let's say up.
Okay. Walking by the east room, you can see a man bent over. He is pulling fish out and descaling them. He does not seem to notice you as you walk by. Monsters in this game can only go one room out, and that is unfortunately further than he's allowed to go, except when you walk up through here. In this room, there's a river that runs through. There are glowing mushrooms all over the place. On the opposite side of the river, there is what looks to be an old, either a workbench or something along those lines. It's just at the edge of the light. At the edge of that light, though, on the table, there is an abundance of bags that would be very similar to what you put money in. I'm going to leave us there, take us back to questions. Do you want your next crit question before we go into this room? I will tell you this is the second most deadly room here.
Sure.
Next crit question. Give me a d6, long as you don't roll the same one we had last time.
3.
Of 3. Mm-hmm. Okay. The cut content curse. Is there something that you would cut from DarkSpace after spending this time making it? Because at the end of the day, you don't think the players were ready for it. You're basically, are your players too dumb for something that you put in your book right now?
Yeah, I think that I would just leave out anything about ship modification. Right now.
You guys heard this.
I
You're
would have
not
saved,
ready for ships.
I would
Really?
have saved it for the expanded rules. Yeah.
Really, what he's
Because
saying is, as I didn't get to write it the way I wanted, so you're not ready for it.
Well, no, it's that's the one thing we've gotten more questions about.
Really?
Yeah.
So
more than the triad, more than motivation. We've gotten a lot of people that are saying, "Why can't I build ships? You talk about building ships, you talk about modifying ships, but I can't build ships. Why can't I build ships?" So I'm like, you know what? I should have just left that part out.
That's a true statement. You get that without pissing anyone off. You get another omen, but I'm gonna follow up this question with one that I had on the side burner in case ships came up. Yeah. I'm a firm believer that ship combat has almost never been done right in a game. It's always convoluted, over the top, too much involved, and there's only one motherfucker in the party who wants to track the ship information. There's only one, and no one else. It's like shopping. Not everyone wants to go shopping in a game. This isn't Critical Role. Yeah. We want to play the game. That guy who mods that Ferrari that really wants to take it out in space always has like all these things, and I want them to have that fun. But my God, they always want it to be the most complex part of the system. And my example of this, I don't know if you used it as references. When you play Starfinder, building ships in Starfinder was supposed to be like Star Trek. It was supposed to be 1v1. Bowman handed it off, and it became mass combat like Star Wars. So when you make your ship stuff, you kind of have a choice to make. Is it 1v1, 1v2, or is it mass combat? Because if it's the second one, you got to like really whittle down the combat rules.
Yeah, no, the whole scope of DarkSpace right now is the crew. So
okay.
it would be the
more Firefly-ish when it comes to that.
Exactly. So it you know, at most, you know, how many ships have you ever seen the Millennium Falcon actually fight? Right? Yeah, they got swarmed by a ton of TIE fighters in the Death Star battle.
Yeah.
But how many of them did they actually fight at a time?
They're mosquitoes.
1 or 2, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
I will tell you, one of the rule systems I used that I liked the way they did ship combat to a point. It wasn't gritty enough, but one of the things you do if you you're familiar, I'm sure, with Kids on Bikes, right?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Kids on bikes, kids on broomsticks, that whole line,
yeah. Yeah. Well, they have one called Teens in Space.
Oh, do they? Is that where you send them off and they freeze? You don't have to deal with them anymore?
It's Space Camp.
Yeah. And so in Teens in Space, each one of the players, when you're building the ship, each one of the players decides which part of the ship is their responsibility. And so when you get into ship combat, you have different players doing different guns on the ship.
It still brings me back to the boring part of fucking ship combat, though, which is like everyone
I
has a
agree.
position and goes, what do? I sit here and hope there's something to shoot today.
Right, and that was my problem with it. That was my problem with it when you got into ship combat. Ship combat was no fun.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't. I did not enjoy ship combat. So one of the things, like Fan said, is I prefer focusing, because the idea in most of my games is you're a bunch of damn scavengers trying to eke out a life in a freaking dystopian solar system or galaxy.
Yep.
So your whole goal is you don't want to get into ship combat because the corpos are going to blow your ass away.
Yeah, because they have the money to have actual guns.
Yeah, they're the ones that will get you. So your idea is, no, what you want to do is you want to sneak onto the corpo ship, steal what you can, and get the hell off.
It's closer to like Aliens then. Because Aliens is, no one realizes this. Aliens is Space Truckers, the movie. I mean,
yes,
that's all you really do.
No, I realize that. I love Space Truckers.
Yeah, I mean,
that is my whole vibe. I am originally from the Northeast Louisiana woods.
There it goes.
All right?
There's the accent. I heard it.
There's the accent you wanted. And my games are rednecks in fucking space.
Yeah.
Because I grew up working class. I may be overeducated myself, but I'm what happens when a redneck gets it. Yeah. And so my brother was a truck driver. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, I grew up up around bars and clubs, which most people that know me realize that after a little while. And so, I mean, working class folks are the people I love, and I wanted a game where rednecks could go into space
and make it,
kick some ass. Yeah. One of the TV shows that inspired me, I picked up on it, was an old Andy Griffith TV show where he was a junk man. Yes, it was a real show.
What the fuck was that called?
I can't remember it, but I watched the pilot episode when I was a kid, and it was decent, but they tried to turn it into a series and it sucked. But the pilot episode was great because he was a junk man who made his own spaceship where he went out into space and reclaimed space junk.
Yeah, of course.
And brought it back to Earth and sold it. And that's the type of thing I like to run.
Just think of how easy a junkyard is to run in space. You don't need anything heavy to move shit.
I know it was called Salvage.
Yeah,
Salvage.
That was it. Salvage. That's what it was. Salvage. I mean, I was thinking of like the Crab Fisherman and the Ice Trucker, like like the reality TV series. That shit's wild. Like my buddy did crab fishing out of Alaska, and he's like, "No, man, my knees are shot. I got hooked through the calf. Like it's a war zone, and there's no guns. Technically.
So can you imagine that reclaiming trash in space, but there's some damn little alien hybrid on it that's going to screw with you? And so those are the adventures I like to run, the adventures I like to write. And if you pick up our first adventure, you're going to be a bunch of space scavengers trying to clear out an old, a generational ship. And your whole goal is to salvage as much as you can and get the hell off there.
So the answer is you don't want to make spaceship stuff yet because it's a fucking nightmare.
That's his answer.
That's my answer. That's my answer. That's not Dan's answer.
I mean, we've got ship combat, but the idea is that it's no different than Shadowdark combat.
Oh, okay.
So Shadowdark combat moves fast. Ship combat should move fast.
How are you going to handle Torchlight? Are you going to do like power or engine or afterburners or something like that as a timer?
For ships?
Yeah.
Or
power cells or shields?
Yeah, so shields and guns both run on energy generators.
Sure, yeah.
So, and energy cells are our torches, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously a glow rod is going to work for, as long as the battery's good, right? So, energy cells are a little more versatile. They can be used in things like survival gear. So your rebreather has an energy cell in it, so that can have a timer on it. Your glow rod can have a timer on it. Your energy cells are in your weapons as well. So if they fail, then you've got one energy cell left. Do I pull it out of my glow rod and stick it in my gun?
Yeah.
Or do I keep it in my glow
no one's
rod?
trained to blaster rifles. You don't have to worry about that.
No, that's true, right?
Yeah.
So we're good.
No, you're good. You just rebreathers and vibrators. That's all you need them for.
Vibrators.
So for ships,
you're trained in that. That was on the character sheet. I saw it.
Yeah. There you go. Vibros. So for
He's reminded me of that conversation we had in Discord.
No, I don't want to know.
No, we don't need to know that.
We don't need to know that.
So for ships, it would be the energy generators that are running on the
Gotcha.
ships
And are you thinking more of like a build point instead of money for it, or would you still make them spend their currency? Because then you get like this weird currency problem where things are costing 50 to 100 to 200, maybe 1,000 for power armor.
Yeah.
But then you do ships, you're like, I need a gun. Well, it's 2,000. You're like, well, the fuck am I going to get this?
Yeah, it's actually a combination of both. It's gonna have you're gonna have so many slots basically we're basing it off of
The character sheet inventory.
Character sheet, right?
So you're going to give it
have so many-
experience then?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a true ship classes.
character.
I'm hearing ship classes of the different frigate styles. And
This
they're going
is
to be
kind of
classes.
this is kind of what I'm playing with.
Yeah.
That we're gonna have actual classes for them.
Well,
See, and I
that
love
could be
the
fun.
idea of your ship as an NPC. I
No,
love the
no, fuck
idea.
it. No, 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 no,
One
no.
person
You're not
character.
hearing me. You should just get to play the ship.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
With
about.
you're a droid that is the ship, and you get to send a little droid down when they go planet side. But when it's
Oh, I
ship,
love that.
you're the ship that handles all the problems. One guy makes the decisions.
There you go. Well, I mean, we're gonna have something for sentient. ships.
That'll be fun.
There's too many sentient ships out there that you can't not address that.
What was sentience?
My ship in my adventure is based off of Anne McCaffrey. No, was it Anne McCaffrey's book, The Ship Who Sang?
Oh fuck, I don't remember. I quit working at Walden Books in like early 2000s.
Okay. Yeah. I read way too much as a kid.
I did too,
I
but I
couldn't
just don't
fight,
remember
so I had
anymore.
to read.
I wiped
I
certain
couldn't fight,
parts.
so I had to read.
Yeah. But there is money on a table here coming up. So my question to you all is, are you going to go across to deal with this, or are you going to pull a Chris from Alchemy and just keep running and running? Because Chris avoided all combat.
Oh no, we can't do that. We got to fight something.
Oh, he was
Come on.
like, I'm going to avoid everything. Fuck you guys.
We got 2 crits, man. We can fight something.
You could. You can max
baby.
crit anything right now. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
There's
no,
money
it's
across.
just-
There is the guy who's back in this room. And then there's also the other passageway over there. So I'm going to flip it to you. What's the plan?
I say we go check out whatever is on the table.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can head across the table. The table is kind of like inset, almost like the old roll top post office tables, but it's up. There's a bunch of small tools on it. There is bags, and there's also the little mail slot areas are full of like pieces of necklaces, jewelry, but they're all made from like pearls they found in oysters and stuff that's been scavenged. Speaking of scavenging, from down here. Somebody is making this shit down here, but you don't see anyone around. I'll move you into the
Well,
room.
that means that let's grab it. Nobody's there. It must be ours. They must have made it for us.
Of course, that's what the astronaut in the helmet says.
Right. Yeah.
Are you going to start going through this?
Yeah.
How many rounds would you like to take scavenging? I know you don't like how I said that, and that's the point.
Yeah. How many rounds do you want to take?
1d3. Roll a d6. 1d3.
No, you think that's how it works? Audience, I need a D12, please. While they're rolling the
Nice.
D12, are you gonna start going through bags and stuff? You find money, you find gems, you find gold. And I would like you to please look at your character sheet on the lower left-hand side under powers. Fear of gold
Yeah, fear of
cannot
gold.
approach, and presence
Yeah. Oh.
is a problem.
Okay.
With that, I'm going to pop up the other creature that is right next to you. That is unfortunately ethereal right now. This creature is the second most dangerous thing that is here. This is known as a spectral stalker. This thing is a DR 15 for any form of dodge in combat, but he's only a 12 to hit. If you have something that can hit it. I'm going to read this thing out. It's kind of a weird creature. This is a fishnet draped over the nervous system of a dead body. Together with a net and fish hooks, it goes to drape itself over top of you. It starts combat, not you. You said you guys would take a D3 rounds. That means I get to get into position, which means I get to ignore and knock down your armor by 1 because of its special ability, hunting. So, with that, you have to make me a agility roll. Oh, that's not as bad. Agility roll. It is a 15 to dodge. Audience, can you please roll me 4d4?
You want me to roll that agility roll, Fan?
Yeah, you go for it.
He doesn't trust his rolls.
You shouldn't trust this one either. That would be a 4.
Oh, as this thing drapes over you, the fish hooks start hooking into your armor, and the nervous system, this like ectoplasmic nervous system, starts to force itself inside your armor. Now, I didn't explain this at the beginning. I've never explained it to anybody because we haven't had this thing attack anyone. If this gets in your body, it takes your body and you become an ectoplasmic nervous system. All of your rolls are at -2 until you get your body back or find another one. Give me the total in chat, guys, as you're rolling this out. You do get to try to resist this, but it's at -1, so instead of a D6 armor, it is a D4. I'm pretty sure no matter what, you're dead. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I don't think you can do anything about this.
Well, we do have that critical.
That's to do damage, but I go first.
Oh.
You took 3 rounds and not 2. If you took 2, we would roll initiative. If you took 1, you would have went first. So what did we take for damage? How much did you knock off the 14?
3.
All right, everybody. Well, that means that you die. He takes your body, which means we go all the way back to the beginning where the heart is. I am going to add a light to you on the heart. You are now the nervous system that is moving as the soul stone. But that means we go into our really fast questions. I think this is usually what people are here for, to be honest. I'm gonna pull questions up on the screen. We're gonna roll it back to the first one. Are we ready?
Sure.
Neat or on the rocks?
On the rocks.
That is correct. That is 1 hit point back. True or false? D&D is overrated.
True.
True.
That's 2 hit points back for you. Kale or spinach?
Spinach.
Spinach.
Thank God I got some Popeye fans here. Party or funeral?
Party.
Wrong.
Party.
It should be a party at a funeral. You fucked it up. You don't get me.
There we go.
Oh, that's a good answer.
True or false? Dragons are overrated.
True.
False.
You're gonna have to come to agreement on this one.
Oh,
Or-
okay.
Rock, paper, scissors.
You do rock, paper, scissors? Are you
Rock,
or are you got a
paper,
cave?
scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. 2 scissors. Go again. Can't take you fuckers anywhere. I can't take you fuckers anywhere. What are you, professionals? Come on. We're going to have you roll off.
There
There
it
we
is.
go. What did you say? True or
there.
false?
That's it. True.
Absolutely. They fucking suck. I'm so tired of them. They're the worst thing in all of Dungeons and Dragons. Best undead. There can be only one.
Best undead.
Mm-hmm.
Revenant. Revenant.
Ooh. I'll go with that. Sure, that sounds good.
Wrong.
All right, tell me what's better than that. Are you gonna say a lich?
No, an undead beholder, of course. It's illegal. You can't use it, and it can do everything that the rest can do. Best writing tool for your last question. Only one right
Number
answer.
2 pencil. A number 2 pencil.
That's a good one. But I don't think you guys actually use number 2 writing pencils.
I do. I have a whole thing of number 2 writing pencils
I
that I give
will
out
give
went
it
to
to
my
you.
mechanical
players.
in the 90s and we never went back.
But the real answer is a Blackhawk number 2 writing pencil. But I will give it to
okay.
you. I will give it to you.
Dude, you're absolutely right, and I need to order some more of those. Look, man, I am so old school. I give out my players a mini notebook and a pencil for our games, so they
Yep.
can take notes, make their own character sheets. because we all play in person.
Oh,
And
well, aren't you lucky?
I am very fortunate.
So that's
I
our
have
first
two
death.
in-person games.
All right.
First death up on the board on the right-hand side. You guys are doing really well. We're nearing the end of the show here. I'm going to give us one more round in question. I feel it's deserved to see if we can get you killed again. So you have to walk back the questions, and so we don't have to do travel. You know why? Because travel in games fucking sucks. So those questions were all of the rooms you pass back through to get your hit points back. Upon arrival back in the room, that creature is fitting itself into your body. They rolled earlier for the D12. What did we get? Oh, I don't see it on screen. I will roll it then because I want the answer. That is a 10. We answered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions. You have 4 rounds to get your body back from him, and this is a presence roll. On failure, if you don't get it back in 4 rounds, and I do damage to your nervous system, I keep it for myself. And that means the next person who plays this game is absolutely fucked. What do you guys want to do?
I think we need to use our omens.
Okay, so you're gonna do max damage this thing, or are you gonna use it to get a reroll? It's a presence 12, a 9. Thank you. They said they got a 9, so you got 5 rounds.
Okay.
So you're gonna use presence to get it back. You're gonna try to damage this thing as a nervous system. You have no weapon. Your damage is a D4. All your weapons are on him. Your head's sitting on the table, looking at you.
Yeah, let's try to do the presence.
All right, who's rolling?
Reroll.
Presence is a 12 for this. 12. I apologize. A 12.
You want me to roll, Sam?
Your presence is not got a bonus.
That would be an 18.
Easily force the thing out of your body and get it back. That means we go to initiative. Can you guys please roll me a d6? On a 4 up, you go first.
Go, Dan. You roll this one.
Got 4.
All right, you go first. What do you want to do? Head's on the table. You're still holding your gigantic mace in both hands. What's the plan?
Let's swing that sucker.
All right, it is a strength roll to hit with melee. I am a 15 to hit physically, unless you have a magical weapon, which this one is not.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
I really thought it was.
Nope, it's just a skull on the end of a stick that can talk.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Now let's see what happens.
Roll to hit.
You want me to
I'll
roll?
let you, I'm gonna let you roll combat.
All right, 15.
Okay.
You got a +2 to hit.
That is a total of a 4.
Would you like to use an omen to reroll?
Yeah.
I would like to use a
You got
Roman to
2 of them.
reroll.
All right, give me a roll. I'll mark it off.
That's an 11.
Not enough. Do you want to use your other omen to reroll?
Might as well. We're almost at the end.
I mean, we're at something.
That is another 9 or an 11 total.
That's not
That's,
enough. Audience, I need you to give me your 2d8. We will go to the other question on our turn. You will come back and roll agility to end our show. Let's see if we can't get another death out of these two. This question's fun. It's not the other one. We did our speed round. You got to go through some of the fast stuff, but on one of your 2, I think it was on the DarkSpace one. I said this before the show. I saw that someone named their cats Athena and Poseidon. Is that correct?
Yep.
I have a friend who said that that is her name and you're not allowed to use it. She wrestles for AEW. And that name, Athena, is not allowed to be used by anyone by her, and it is copywritten. What would you rename your cat?
Persephone.
What are these names from? Greek mythology? What
Greek
happened?
mythology.
You just pulled them out of a hat, random generator?
Nah, my kids.
Oh,
They want to name them all Greek gods. We've got a stray that runs around outside. It's a little black cat. So that's Hades.
I was gonna say, you know, every cat needs to be called Ares because all they do is cause war.
Well, that's a good one too.
Our orange cat's name is Loki.
Yeah.
Mine's Archer.
Because he is chaos incarnate, and it also stands for, as my wife says, Little Orange Kitty.
Oh, God damn it.
L-O-K-I.
Mine's because he drinks your Manhattans, and when we took his collar off and we got him, it looked like he had on a tactical turtleneck.
He drinks your Manhattans?
Yeah, if I have a Manhattan, he will go over and drink out of my cup. He's a dick.
Dang.
Yeah, we rude as shit. He had pour it for him. But a real question for you guys to kind of close our show out before we do our last round of combat, and then maybe we'll do some after hours. So you guys have designed a game, met each other, premiered it at GaryCon, made custom tokens, have map tiles that honestly you should be making sci-fi versions of them, because if you don't, I'm gonna be very disappointed. There is something we haven't talked about yet, though. Out of all the stuff that you guys have made in here, you also have an adventure that came out. Is this the game you've been running everyone through at GaryCon? Is this the same adventure?
It's a game that Derek ran everybody through. Yeah.
You didn't run
I've
at
run
GaryCon?
everybody. What's that?
No, my games were very different at GaryCon.
So I had a guy who played one of your games. I was trying to get in. I pinged trying to get in. Everyone was booked up. And he said he died in an elevator shaft, and he blamed one of you for it. Now, I want to know if it was one of you or some other person running DarkSpace for you. Because if so, that means you have organized play already.
No, we do not.
Well,
have
we don't have organized play, but we have people running it.
I don't think that's true. It was at GaryCon, and that's organized, and other people were running the game.
That's fine. Elevator shaft.
Someone fell down an elevator shaft and died.
Was that?
That sounds like your gauntlet. It doesn't sound like.
Oh, no.
That sounds like one of your gauntlets.
It was.
You were killing people left and right.
He showed me
You
the
were killing
character
people.
sheet.
You were killing people left and.
Did it say fell down elevator shaft? Because if it was a gauntlet, I wrote him on there.
He just showed it to me when we were drinking. He's like, I fucking fell down an elevator shaft and died.
I don't remember there being an elevator shaft.
Well, you were running lots of gauntlets. You even ran some pickup gauntlets.
That means that somebody else ran it after getting the book at GaryCon. That could make you guys hella proud.
Oh, that makes us hella proud.
It does.
We've had guys running it at
some guy in Portland. Sent us a message. He was running a convention in Portland.
That's
whatever the big.
We have
gaming
people
convention.
sending us messages like, "We're running this here. We're running this there." We've already today. We have somebody about to publish a third-party supplement for DarkSpace.
No, that's right, because you guys have an open game license.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, our first third-party adventure is about to come out.
No shit.
From a guy who he wrote a Mothership adventure, but he was like, but I love DarkSpace, so I want to do both. So he converted it over.
That someone said that was your game in chat. Tim just said no, that was his game. That was your game. That's it. Yeah.
Tim would know.
Apparently he remembers it was you.
Tim would know.
Well, with that, you only died once so far. We're gonna do our last thing of combat here. See if we can kill you one more time and get stuff entered into the treasury. Audience, what do we get in our damage? What's our total for the 2d8? 3 damage? Are you fucking kidding me? Well, you guys are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hit points. No matter what you roll, you're not gonna die.
Yeah, I rolled 2.
You guys are the worst audience I've ever seen for killing people. We're serving hands when I need her max damage rolls. We have 2 crit damage. I'm going to override that roll and say that it is max damage instead with my crit rolls. So that is 16. What did you take off? How much?
2.
No, I'm sorry. That's just another death for you guys.
Too much. Yep.
So that's 2 into it. I'm going to take us over to our map screen here on me. We'll get back to both of us talking in a second. I'm going to flip a couple times. So I put all the names in here. There is a lot. I'm going to draw once out of here, and then I'm going to give you the option of, do you want to give away one of your books tonight, or do you want me to pull from the treasury of everything that's here for the first one? What do you guys want?
We want to give away one of ours.
Let's give away one of ours.
All right, so I'm going to pull here first. I'm going to slide over so it's you guys on screen. That's up. We're going to roll. Let's see who we get. There's 200 entries in here.
Wow.
Nice.
Including the new ones for the night. And Star Drew, who's in chat, by the way, my Canadian friend here. I'm going to remove just the one instance. You don't lose everything. Star Drew, if you could please send me your email. I'm assuming you guys want Drive-Thru RPG for this.
Yeah.
Whatever your email is for Drive-Thru RPG, you'll get yourself a copy of DarkSpace here. Maybe I'll be nice and run you. Star Drew is a board gamer at heart. And I vow I'm going to run him through an actual tabletop game at some point in time. So maybe this will be the game I do it in.
There we go.
With that said, I'm going to draw one more for the audience, and this is going to be from the treasury. Let me roll here. This one is for Vastgrim. Ooh, this is for the sexy one here. Hold on, everybody.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to take us both on screen here. Let's get rid of the questions. We don't need the questions. I'm going to pull up the treasury. So this is the DarkSpace. They've kindly put 2 in. I'm going to ask a question I ask everybody. Do you want to put all 4 in, even though you didn't die?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to do all 4, -1, because we just did 1, so we'll have 3 left. So I'm going to scroll through all of these. These are all of the prize. You said that about Cypher, right? Well, Cypher System is in here along with their board game and a bunch of other stuff. Obviously with Rob on for Shadow the Demon Lord. He has a whole set of things in here that are up for grabs. Rob's is a full package deal that comes together. My buddy from Delvingwood with his wooden terrain. You probably saw him at GaryCon and other places. He's put 4 of his packs in as well. But Alchemy has got a 6-month sub, Morkborg, Symborum, and then their gift box as well. But Vastgrim, Brian, my guy, we made this one separate. He has got the astronaut art print that he has on metal. It's like this one behind me, but it's a metal print. It's all chrome. So that is what this drawing is going to be for right now. This is for the one from Brian. This is going to be our last call, and then we're going to go back to you guys to shout out anything that you need to share for what's going on. So let's see what we get in this last draw for the night. This is for all the marbles. It's for what's on screen right now, everybody. I wanted this. I was hoping no one would get this because I fucking want it. Brian, you're going to have to send me one of these. I'll buy it from you. Who's today? Is this Star Drew again? Kyle, this guy is a gigantic Star Wars fan. So much where he made a mouse droid that he rides on that has his cosplay material and stuff with it. It's got a dolly and trolley behind it. Like, no joke.
Nice.
Full-on mouse droid.
Awesome.
He dresses as an Imperial. Congrats, Kyle. He's been a big supporter of the show all these times. I will make sure to get that info over to Brian as well. With that said, thank you guys for joining. Do you have anything people should know about? You hit your 500 today. Is there anything big that you want to announce on the show that you haven't said anything yet? Like, is there going to be a Kickstarter?
Kickstarter, possibly.
Okay.
Be on the lookout for expanded rules. That's
I will say the next big thing that we have coming up, if you're going to be at Origins Game Fair in June, you can stop by the Geek Preacher booth. I will actually have a booth at Origins Game Fair. You will be able to pick up physical copies of DarkSpace as well as our zine, Void Echoes. There will be other things there.
Nice.
You can say hello to me. You can say hello to Than. If you already have a physical copy, we will gladly sign it for you. And both of us will be running DarkSpace. You did get some DarkSpace games in, didn't you, Than?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Somewhere.
But I have some on the schedule. Oh, nice. So they may already be sold out because my games sell out pretty quick, but I will be running the adventure we have already published, The Root of the Problem, at Origins Game Fair in January of 2026. I will be a special guest at Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo.
Damn.
And Than will also be having a booth there for us for DMing the World.
Ooh.
So we will be there at Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo. I'm also planning on being at Gamehole Con in October.
That's my favorite con in the U.S. right now.
I love Gamehole, and I will be running DarkSpace at Gamehole Con, and will be playtesting my new adventure coming out, which is the Mysteries of Lunar X-12, a little bit of horror and space scavenging going on.
Isn't that the one that's called One Man Down an Elevator Shaft? That's awesome. So you guys have got a lot going on.
We do.
What I do usually keeps me fairly busy, but I've actually been able to tie that to DarkSpace.
Oh, nice.
So that's really great too.
Yeah, I thought you were just going to bless everyone's beverages that they bring over to you, 40K style.
I will do that too, and I also hand out free. I do hand out free dice blessings at gaming conventions.
Do you lick it?
So
Please tell me you lick it.
I might. I did this for Jolly Blackburn, and I'll do it for you. If you have an alcoholic beverage, I will baptize your dice.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So with that, everybody,
I'll even baptize it in Maker's Mark for you.
I mean, that's the only way to drink, right? Thank you for joining us. I hope you guys had fun. Stay in the wings. I'm going to close this show out. Maybe we'll record some after hours. Thank you for joining us. All of the links for everything that these two gentlemen do are going to be down below after the show. Of course, Corpse Talk, you know the rules, everybody. We're going to be doing another build episode. We did a live show. That means we're going to have a Headless Night episode where I help build the next section of this dungeon, and I try to make it through it in under an hour. I beat your asses last time, and I will beat it next time. Until then, everybody, stay rotten. Stay fucking rotten. I'll see you on Wednesday for EFP Live.